Okay, what's up, y'all? We are here today to talk about Wicked City episode 2. So I'm just gonna get right on into the drama. So Mona wakes up after, last episode. She wakes up and she's in this house, and there's a man and two women there. She recognizes the man as her uncle who passed away in a car accident with her father when she was like 14. And so she's so excited to see him, but she's also confused, like, how am I seeing you? What's going on? So the other two women introduce themselves as, I think, Asha and Ophelia, and basically they say they're her guides. And so her uncle reveals to her that she has in fact passed away. So she's obviously shocked about this. And one thing I love is the fact that Mona speaks Spanish intertwined into her regular, English vocabulary, because it just shows that duality. I always have trouble with that word, but it really shows both sides to who she is, and we're not just seeing oh, there's this one part. She has a mixed culture, and I love that about her. So another thing that we learn in this scene is that Mona's mama actually did not want her and her siblings seeing their uncle when he was alive, because she was scared that it would make them gay. And so it's so many people, especially in our community, in the Black community, have that same thought process that the gay uncle or whoever is gonna turn the kids gay. There's some kind of club they're gonna induct them in. Whatever. So they ask Mona, what do you remember? What was the last thing you remember? And she says that she remembers being in a trance when they were doing the spell to, help Jordan with the power. And she was like, after that, it's all, fuzzy. And so that's when they let her know, yeah, baby, you gone. So then we switch back to the group and Mona. So Sherise is we need to call Tabitha. Tabitha needs to be here because we don't know what to do with this by ourselves. And so Jordan is adamantly against it. Jordan does not want to call Tabitha because she's scared of Tabitha and getting in trouble with her. And then Angela's like, girl, we just did this and you scared of Tabitha, really? And then Camille wants to call the police so that they can get Mona some EMS services, but Sherise is like, no, because they're gonna think we killed her, which we actually truly did. And then she's like, magic is, what are we gonna tell them, that magic killed her? We killed her when we did a spell together? And so Camille kind of backs up real quick, and she's like, dang, you right. And so then Angela gets upset because she's like, why are you giving up? Because Camille is doing chest compressions. And she's like, why are you giving up? And Camille's like, she's right. Mona is gone. And so then Jordan gets the bright idea to do a resurrection spell. I love my girl, but that don't even sound like that would be a good idea to me as a casual viewer. So imagine being in universe and you hear resurrection spell. Sherise is like, I know you're not talking about a resurrection spell. And Jordan says, yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about, actually. And so Sherise is basically telling them, this is dangerous. You don't know what's on the other side with Mona. She's not by herself. When you bring her back, you could very easily bring something else back. Sherise tells us that her family has been doing magic for centuries, even before slavery. And, even they don't mess with death magic, which is what this is. And so Jordan is like, no, we gotta do this. And Angela is all on board now. And Sherise is still adamantly against it because she knows exactly how dangerous this is. So, the drama. And can I just say that the actresses who play Mona and Angela ate this episode up, okay? Ate it up. Ate these scenes and chewed them and then ate them and then spit them out. That is how good they did. The performances were chef's kiss. Asha and Ophelia basically they start telling Mona that Camille has a lot of power, but she doesn't know what to do with it. And they kind of allude to the fact that the spell that they did to amplify Jordan's powers was something way above their own understanding, and that they shouldn't have done it in the first place. But they're all stopping each other from like revealing too many details. And so Mona's uncle tells her that basically what happened was when they did the spell, there was so much power that Mona was basically like soaking it up kind of like a sponge, and it short-circuited her, essentially. So y'all, let me cut to my girl Claudette, because Claudette is doing her spell, right? She's got her whatever. She has her the girl minion drag the boy minion out his body. Y'all, this woman bled that man dry. I'm talking about like sliced his throat and got all the blood in the cup. Why the cup was bone dry? Why was the cup bone dry? That tickled me to no end. But anyway, so, you know, Claudette is getting ready for this ritual. She's got a little like altar, whatever place, set on the ground, and she's got the cup, and she's getting ready to do what she's gonna do. So back to the scene where like they're trying to get the resurrection spell and whatnot. So when they're trying to get the resurrection spell together, Camille starts hearing voices, and the whole time that she's hearing these voices, nobody else can hear them. And Sherise is still adamantly against doing those resurrection spell, to the point that she even tries to entrance Jordan to make her stop and put the book down. And so while she's trying to do that, Angela sees what's going on, and she stops it, and she pushes Jordan away, and she like does this voice manipulation thing, and her voice, she's like, no, you know, like it was scary, honestly. And so then Jordan realized what Sherise was trying to do, and she was like, no, Sherise, you can't do this, we're trying to bring Mona back, you know, whatever. So that scene got intense. Speaking of Camille, it is so distracting, in a good way, how much the actress that plays Camille looks like Normani. Like, I promise you, this woman looks almost exactly like Normani. It's so interesting. So Camille goes upstairs, and she's listening to these voices, and the voices are basically telling her like, you have to bring Mona back, you have to bring her back. And so Sherise, Jordan, and Angela come back upstairs, and like they see Camille like over Mona's body, and they're like, girl, what are you doing? And she's like, they're right, we gotta bring her back, and so everybody's like, yes, except Sherise. And so they decide to go ahead and do the spell, and they get Sherise on board. But it's funny because Angela has to go back downstairs to get the stuff that she needed for the spell, that she knew she needed for the spell. I don't know why that was hilarious to me. So in the middle of all of this, we see Tabitha is scrying for somebody. Like, she's got the crystal over the map, and she's looking for somebody. She's like, you need to reveal yourself. And we've also seen that Tabitha she was looking into Camille's mama's death, that she's like trying to see if anything happened, if there was any like strange occurrence, anything like that. And she realizes that whoever did this, they covered their tracks like really well. Like, they covered their tracks to the point where they can't be identified. So I can't wait to see that mystery unfold. So then we switch back to the scene with the girls getting ready to do the resurrection. And so Angela and Camille are kind of talking, and you know, Angela tells us that her family doesn't do magic. She had a way with plants even when she was like a teenager, but she never knew it was actually magic until she met Tabitha. And so because of that, you know, she's finally coming to learn who she is. And so then Camille kind of tells her like, I don't have anybody like that, I don't have anyone like in my corner. And Angela says, but you will. And Angela during this process is making a power amplification potion for all of them, so that their powers can be like peak, because at this point Jordan has Mona's powers, so technically all the powers are there that they need. They just gotta, you know, amp it up a little bit. Angela also tells us that her and Mona have been like rocking for a little while, but they don't have like labels to it, but that Mona means a lot to her. So that adds some good characterization to show us like this is why she's going so hard for this, to save her. Like she even tells them like Mona is the only person I have ever loved the way I love her. So now mind you, at the same time that the girls are getting ready to do the ritual, Claudette is getting ready to do hers. So we got those two things intertwining. Y'all, it was so funny when Angela had her power multiplication potion, and she was like, okay, we gotta add some blood, and they all put their blood in there, and they put some of Mona's in there, and then she was like, all right, and she was like, and Camille was like, aren't we gonna drink that? And she was like, this is our best shot. So then it was so funny because everyone took a drink, and then Camille had it in her hand and was like, is this safe? Camille said, is this safe? And Sherise was like, girl, we're doing a spell to resurrect somebody and you worried about whether the tea is safe? I was like, come on, Sherise, don't read that woman like that. And on the other side, Mona's still freaking out that she's dead, but her uncle is like, your friends are trying to bring you back. But she's not really getting any direct answers as to what's gonna happen or whatnot. And her guides and her uncle reveal to her, like, over there, they can't give direct answers to things because it's not allowed. So that's why everything they say comes out in riddles. And I should have written the riddles down so that I could put them in here because my memory is not good. But it was like, I'm not even finna try. I'm just gonna say the riddles were very interesting. And Mona's like, this don't make no sense. And so they just try to tell her, like, keep your head up, keep your eyes open, keep your heart open to your friends. And the one thing that they tell her is make sure you keep your cross necklace on because your faith is gonna be what gets you through. And so Mona's like, okay girl, anyway. And so the girls start the ritual at this point, at the same time that Claudette is starting hers. And Mona's uncle tells her, like, don't worry about your mama, she's gonna come around, she'll be okay. So Mona and the girls are doing their ritual at the same time that Claudette is. And so their magic is so powerful that it stops Claudette like mid spell. Like she stops and she's like, she looks at her apprentice and is like, did you feel that? And she's like, yes. So she tells her that they're gonna put their spell on ice while they, figure out where the death magic came from. And she's like, once we get that, then we're gonna have all that we need. And I was like, So when Mona wakes up, Mona's like, they realize it's her and she's good. And she tells them like some of the stuff that the people over there said. They said that Camille had dangerous power. And so Sherise is like, oh, so maybe you what we need to be afraid of. Maybe it's you. And Mona's like, no, it's not her. She's gonna be part of the reason that we're able to overcome it. That we're all supposed to fight this together. Yeah. Then at the end, or towards the end. Okay, so it's 3 major things that happen at the end of the episode. Tabitha gets attacked by somebody at her house. And so the person's like, the council sent me and whatnot. I was kind of confused on why she attacked her, but then Tabitha, let us know that she knows her. And she's like, here, let me show you something. And she shows her that Camille is with all the girls in the same place. And so, they must be upstairs. And so then, the lady that attacks Tabitha is like, well, if whatever magic they were doing was strong enough to alert the council, then it's gonna alert Claudette. So then the second thing that happens is we go to Claudette after that, and she has a picture of herself, Tabitha, and the person that attacked Tabitha, and she's like, when I get this death magic, I'm coming for you. And then she burned the picture. And so then the last thing that happens, Jordan goes to go check on Mona to see if she's okay. She apologizes again. Mona kind of seems out of it, but she did just get brought back from death. So of course she's gonna be a little bit out of it. And so then, she's like, I just need to rest, whatever. She sent Angela home. So this does kind of show us that Angela lives in a different place from them. So I'm glad they said that. And then Mona goes to lay down, but she doesn't put she drops her cross necklace on the floor and she doesn't put it back on. And when she goes to lay down, we see a white demon laying on her. Baby, gooped and gagged. So y'all, I know this was a short review, but it was a shorter episode. Y'all, when I tell you the episode was good, like, this episode was so good, and I think it was a good follow-up. You know how sometimes you watch like a first episode and it's really good, and then the second episode is like not as good, it's kind of a letdown? No. This one was good. Like, I think they did a good job of showing us a little bit more of the magic like that Tabitha used. They did a little bit of world building as far as like telling us more about like old magic, death magic. Even though they didn't get too far into it, we know that there are certain things that you just don't do as a witch. You know, I love the fact that they told us that Angela don't live in their house, because it just is hilarious to me that I was really sitting there like, okay, who lives where? But it makes sense now. Y'all, Sherise is my fave and will continue to be my fave, but Camille is growing on me. When I tell you Camille is funny, Camille was like, is this safe? Camille was like, I wasn't in danger until I met y'all. Y'all the reason I wasn't safe. Like, it's so, like, I think they're doing a good job of the characters interacting and getting to know Camille getting to know them, but also the characters interacting with each other. It feels like they genuinely know each other. It doesn't feel like, oh my God, we are 4, 5 people who just met, whatever. Sherise, Jordan, Mona, and Angela literally feel like people who have probably known each other for years. So I think the chemistry is great. I do still wish Tabitha was more involved, but it does make sense now why she's so far removed, if that makes any sense. Like, even though I do still wish that she was interacting with other characters, like Sherise or Angela, I understand why she's so far removed, because she got her own thing going on. She's trying to figure out, like, who is behind all of this. She's trying to figure out what's going on. So it makes sense that she's not, like, part of the drama. Overall, I think it's a great episode. So, I'm gonna upload this video today. I'm going to upload another one tomorrow for episode 3, and then episode 4 is coming out Thursday, and then I'm probably gonna try to do a reaction video or review of that one as well. But that one may be like a reaction as opposed to a review, if that makes any sense, since it's still gonna be fairly fresh. So yeah, the actresses and the staff and crew's socials will be in the description box along with my own, and y'all enjoy. Let me know what you think of the show. Let me know what you think of this. Let me know what you want me to do differently, if you would change it. I appreciate the people that watch. Hopefully we get more people watching. So y'all have a good one. Bye.